Thank you, Arup, for a kind introduction. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Is
yes, yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So I'll be talking about trifocals, the way to go. This is my financial disclosure. I'm consultant for Carl Zeiss India. So talking about the natural crystalline lens, it has got good accommodation, clear vision at all distance, glass free, clear vision in all lighting condition, great contrast sensitivity with no rotational asymmetry, with a minimal aberration. So these are the options for presbyopia. You have got lens based procedure, you have got multifocal intraocular lens, extended depth of range of IOLs, trifocal IOLs, corneal procedures like Presby LASIK. I do a lot of Presbyon. Even there are procedures like Supracore is been becoming more and more popular in the market, and some of our friends still doing corneal inlays. Even few of our friends in Europe, I met them. They are doing something called scleral spacing device by implanting a PMMA segment in the sclera for presbyopia, even by applying the erbium laser as a laser S procedure. So let me come to the diffractive intraocular lens. It utilizes the principle of diffraction in conjunction with interference to create more than one foci. Basically, refractive power is on the anterior surface of the lens and the diffractive power on the posterior surface through multiple grooves on that. So what exactly happens in the diffractive IOL when play diffraction is nothing but the bending of light when it is hits and become obstructed. So what happens when the plane waves are transferred into the spherical wave after diffraction? So this is up to the Huygens-Fresnel principle where spherical wave propagation from different points lead to wave interference. See, now grating density and refraction angle. So the higher the grating density, stronger is the angle of deviation. You can see here. The more rings placed on the lens surface, that means the higher is the add power. So to tell you, summarize this, shorter the width, higher the add power, wider the width, lower the add power. Suppose if you have a plus 4 add on the lens, that means it is almost around 3.2 at spectacle plane. If it is plus 3 add, that is almost around 2.2 fed than the spectacle frame. You can see that's what is shown in the figure. So what are the limitations with this multifocal? Because partial spectacle independence, decreased contrast sensitivity. Previously, we used to implant the refractive multifocal IOLs, which is depending upon the pupil size. There is a increased glare and halos. That's where the intermediate vision comes in, the fact that which was not addressed in the previous multifocal intraocular lens. Especially it was problem for few of the occupations like drivers, computer professionals, and they have to really modify their lifestyle. So this is where this trifocal come into play. Probably I feel it's a need of the hour. So this is the design. This is the first generation bifocal IOL. You can see where a lot of rings were there. Then become the second generation bifocal. Then this is become the third generation trifocal of small and the larger wedges on the intraocular lens. So this is about the my talk today about the Trilisa 839 MP trifocal from Carl Zeiss. So this is the here the near addition is 3.3 and intermediate addition is 1.66. That improves the intermediate vision without compromising the near vision. This design for reduced potential visual disturbance and improved night vision. So the very important about this lens, the light transmittance rate is almost 85.7, which is the highest compared to any of the lenses. And the one more, the technology, what they do, this lens is something called SMP technology. That means smooth microphase optic design, which is ideal optic image for the ideal optic image and also for reduced light scattering. So, as I already said that, see equal light distribution for distance, intermediate and near. So this is very good for especially those are young patients, those are not, even you can, especially when you're implanting for young pupils, this is most important. And because of the light distribution in all this condition, I think even it is optimized for night driving and reading in the low light. The one more advantage of this lens is especially for PCO protection. This is a hydrophilic with a hydrophobic surface. Along with that, there is an anti-PCO coating on the posterior surface of the lens that prevent the PCO. This is a one comparative study with the other competitive lens, appertized bifocal IOL with the lens, comparative optical benchmark measurement using in situ model to compare the intermediate vision quality AT LISA and the other lenses. You can see how AT LISA behave in as a intermediate vision is concerned. So this is about the no, I have got 2 minutes, 12 minutes talk. Just hold on. So this is about the LISA try maintains the resolution of efficacy contrast in the low light condition. This is how it behaves as far as the near vision is concerned. Patient will be able to clearly focus back forth at object at different distance without the need to put in corrective glasses. So this is about the loading system. I want to show you here. It is a blue mix injector. It can go through easily with 2 mm incision. First you inject little bit of viscoelastic, take the lens. So you will not be touching the lens at all. Directly go into the groove there. You will, when you're going here, you put it there, press it, you will hear a click sound. Then you take out the cap. Then you can take out the cap, put some amount of viscoelastic here, go ahead with the injecting system. Why I am showing you this video, you can see the pupil size is very small here after the phaco. Still how nicely it is going through this pupil without any trouble. So the injecting system is fantastic, and since it is a hydrophilic with a hydrophobic surface, it's a truly a MICS compatible lens. This is our results of 76 patient, 132 eyes. What you can see is uncorrected corrected dysfunctionality with the best corrected visual acuity. You can see here the end of the 2 years also, the not much spherical equals, the sphere is remaining in the patient. If you see the intermediate visual acuity also, it is maintaining very well. This is about the uncorrected near visual acuity. In the end of 3 years, patient is maintaining the good vision. This is about the defocus curve. And when you compare about the glare, quality of vision, how much of the percent of the patient experience? Only 20% of the patient had a little bit of glare, but remaining all the patient doing really well. And only 5% of the patient really bothersome. And only 6% of the patient actually really require to wear the glasses. This is about the trifocal toric, that is a 939 model. The results are quite similar. But what I want to show here about the astigmatism, only 2% of the patient had a astigmatism remaining around 0.76, and only 3% had around 0.5, only 15% had around 0.2 astigmatism, but more than 80% of the patient cylinder is perfect. Once again, thanks to IOL Master 700 and also the Callisto system what is there in our hospital. More than 95% of the patient had a refractive astigmatism less than 0.5 diopter. In conclusion, trifocal intraocular lens implantation can perform by any cataract surgeon who is aware of the principles of refractive surgery and handles the precise IOL calculation. AT LISA Tri demonstrated an excellent functional vision at distance, intermediate and near in our all clinical evaluation. Almost all patients enjoyed spectacle independence after AT LISA Tri implantation in our clinical evaluation. I thank Zeiss for this opportunity.